Kevin, tell us a little bit about Dertour and your usual business to Ireland in a normal year.
Well, in a normal year, the main business will probably start just at the end of March, start of April, and go right up, with a kind of a shoulder strategy, going right into October. And we've been market leader for the Irish market from the continent of Europe or from Germany for the last 50 years. And we'd be sending over about 25,000 customers in our heyday, up to 40 to 50,000. And we still have thousands of bookings that are still there, German customers that want to go to Ireland, and also Austrian customers that want to go to Ireland, because we sell the Ireland as a product also in Austria.
And at the moment, what are you saying to those customers? Are you trying to kind of keep the bookings and just kind of reschedule them rather than lose them entirely?
Yeah, well, the scenario we had, we thought really that Ireland would get back online for us in July, because the success and the discipline of the German government and also the people in Germany, was very, very good. And we got the figures, the RPI down very quickly. And you can see internationally, Germany's been praised how they handled the crisis. So we were thinking, that Germany would be one of the first countries that get in there and is back, to be able to send customers to Ireland. That's the reason we were a bit surprised to see like a country like Italy was in there before Ireland. If you compare the figures, I mean, one of the things that we were surprised about, there was a hotspot with a meat processing company in Germany on 2 locations, and that actually pushed up the RPI from the German market. But if you took those out of the figures would have been a lot better, and also would have enabled the German market to open up, or to the Irish market to open up for Germans as well. Yeah. So I think we were basically hoping to get in July. We're still hoping to get in August, but the problem we have at the moment is planability. We cannot tell the customers like every week, wait another week because the Irish government is going to take a decision in a couple of days. That's not plannable, So we have a reputation to protect. We have to protect the customers as well, and the customers want to go on holidays. So we're basically telling the customer, listen, you can book another destination. So we were sending now in the last couple of weeks, months, we were sending thousands of customers to Austria, to Italy, to Spain, to other destinations.
Normally they would have come to Ireland.
Of course, yeah, thousands.
Yeah.
I mean, we've just cancelled about 3,500 bookings for the first week of August last week. We had basically customers telling us, if it's my risk, why can't I go? And we have to explain to the customer, listen, if there's restrictions there and you can't get in there and you have to, you're in quarantine. We can't support that. So our basic thing.
And that's a hell of a lot of bed nights lost to Ireland. That's a lot of restaurant meals not eaten. That's a lot of attractions not visited. Huge impact.
Yeah, it's also a lot of positive feedback to the people back home about you can go to Ireland and you can go on holidays and you can in the crisis holidays are possible. And if you're looking at if you go to places in Germany where the German customers are now going on holidays as alternatives to Ireland, the discipline of the customer is enormous. With the face masks and keeping their distance and social distancing, it's very, very good. And that from that point of view, it's disappointing to see that the Irish government didn't open Germany to come in there. Because we're sending families, we're sending couples. The average age from the customers going over there is 50 plus. So you were talking about a well-educated customer that has a high spend and would have been open for testing, leaving Germany, and also testing coming back into Germany. So it's and also for these people, planability is very important. We have to be able to tell these people at least 2 weeks in advance. Better would be 4 weeks in advance if they can go or not. And at the moment, all we're doing is just cancelling bookings to Ireland.
Yeah, because even the green list of countries that if you like Ireland is open to, that's changing all the time, or it's due to change all the time. So it's not really a long-term solution. But you mentioned testing there, and to my mind, testing would be a solution, because if people are tested and they're COVID-free, then they should be allowed holiday in Ireland and enjoy a holiday in Ireland. And equally, if they're tested on the way home, then we have a sort of an A to Z solution. And Germany is doing that already, isn't it, for other countries?
I talked last night to the president of the German Travel Association, and he told me as well that their main goals is that in every airport in Germany, not only the ones that are flying to Ireland, but in every airport, and a lot of the airports have already started, testing on the way out and testing on the way in. And it's also now free of charge, so the customer doesn't have to pay a penny to get the test done. And that's they're starting now to advertise that more because the customer, we're seeing now that the customers, because they're relating to this testing and they're open for the testing, that it's actually enabling us to increase our figures, and our figures are going back up now for numerous destinations. The rate of new bookings that are coming in now at the end of July and August are give us a lot of hope for the future. And I think that's with the testing in out, that's something as well. If the Irish government did the same thing with testing in out, and I think the kind of client you get going to Ireland from the German and the Austrian market, I think these customers would actually be happy to go for testing on the way out and the way in as well.
You say it's free. So what does the airport pick up the cost, or does the German taxpayer pick up the cost?
German taxpayer, yeah.
And do you know how quickly the test is completed? 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think we all accept that we're going to have to live with COVID. COVID's not going to go away overnight. Even if a vaccine is developed, it's going to take months, maybe longer to actually roll it out so that it's universally available. So if we have to live with COVID, therefore we're going to have to learn to travel with COVID. So that testing solution, testing in and testing out, seems to be the most kind of comprehensive way to get travel and tourism going in a safe manner again.
Yeah, but if you think about the SARS, when SARS broke out in Germany, there was 9 cases of SARS in Germany and nobody died, only 9 cases. And it took a year and a half to eradicate SARS out of Germany, but before they finally declared Ireland or Germany clear of SARS. And you're looking at this scenario now where you're talking about in Germany there's 9,000 people that died from COVID-19. So I reckon it's going to be around for at least 2 years or 2.5 years. And what we're actually doing now is we have to build up scenarios where we can actually live with the virus, and if the industries live, because the damage we're going to do if we don't address the situation and create testing in out is going to be far, far more than the financial loss we've already had over the last couple of months. So, the experience we've had now from March up to now have shown us it's not going to go away quickly. So we have to have measures now to plan, because what we're doing now at the moment is we're not only, it's very important to keep the health of the public in view, but we have to make sure that we're keeping things running, and that we're not going to lose the bookings for September, October, November, December. And it's not all lost, and I think that's the message we have to get across as well to the Irish government. It's not all lost, because the customers that we send to Ireland, a lot of these people are couples, the kids are out of the house, and or they're couples with no kids. So you're talking about people that actually would be open to take their holiday now in September, October, November to Ireland, because they're basically got cabin fever by staying in Germany, a lot of these people, and they're not the kind of people, the clientele you have are not the clientele that are going to go to Spain or go to Mallorca. They go towards the north. They're very apprehensive about going to places like Sweden, and because people think in regions, they're very apprehensive of going to all Scandinavia because of the problem there in Sweden that popped up. So I think there's a huge potential there to save a lot of what we've lost in 2020. If we get a plan together where we maybe open Ireland for the German Austrian markets from the middle maybe of August, and let the customers go over there, because I know the airlines are open for it, the hotels are open for it, and if we give the customers great deals to go over there, I think the knock-on effect as well, by talking to other customers that were maybe orientated towards Southern Europe or other destinations, you might get an influx of people, want more interest to go to Ireland. But as I said, all tested and on the way in and on the way out. And I think it's, if the Irish government with Aer Lingus and with the other airlines said, listen, Frankfurt, Dublin, testing on the way out, on the way in, Munich, Dublin, testing on the way out, testing on the way in, I think that's to be a good solution and something that's not, rocket science. You could, get it moving very, very quickly,
Great. And in your experience, is there any reluctance for testing from the German customer?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. They're actually, the German customers. You can see this in the press as well, that there's a lot of customers that are actually looking for that. There was a lot of positive comments after the German government said, and the Minister of Health said he's going to introduce it, and freewheel basis, but the customers can actually do it. Now we've got the cruise ship companies are coming in and say that's a great thing as well. We're going to do that as well. So I think it's the people want to know for themselves. They don't want to go back home and say, listen, I have something, I can give it on to my family and friends. So it's very, very positive, and I think that's one of the main things. If we want to save and live with the COVID-19, save the business and live with the COVID-19 until we get past it, I think we have to look at this and start turning around very, very quickly. Because of the damage we're doing, to a lot of industries, but mainly to the tourism industry, that will take, 10 years to recover from.
Great, that's brilliant, Kevin. I think we've captured everything there.